Welcome everyone to Old Man Wisdom. Here this evening we are looking at the USD CAD. This is the 1 hour chart, and I mentioned in my previous video that we would be going over 4 different currency pairs as these Thunderbolt indicator trades appeared. So currently, 20 minutes ago, we had an alert on the USD CAD to buy. The stop loss was to be set at 1.27356. The alert was opened at 1.28027. The first take profit is 1.28460, and take profit 2 was at 1.28749. Now the way I trade with this indicator is that when the trade opens, first of all you've got to take a quick look at how many pips until stop loss. In this case it's 67 pips. Now under normal circumstances that would be way too much for me. So the way I would do this is to adjust my lot size. So let's just say for an example you had a lot size of 0.2. You could literally halve that and just go in with a lot size of 0.1. If you've got a bigger account or if you're on demo account, obviously it doesn't matter so much, although it's good practice to keep your trade sizes as realistic as you can. So what we're looking at here is a stop loss of kind of 65, 66 pips. The first take profit is 44 and the second take profit is 70. So it's almost like a one-to-one trade. But the way I trade this, or the way that I think it would be a good idea to trade this, is that when price gets to take profit 1, you simply set to break even. So you would move your stop loss up and give yourself a couple of pips to take into consideration swap fees or commission fees, so that you're not really going to lose any money. If anything, you'll just make a little bit. But when it hits TP1, I would move my stop loss to break even. And if I just review these trades that have happened over the last kind of couple of weeks, you'll see why I would do that. Although this isn't... Oh yes, yeah, there's a good example here on the previous trade. So you'll see here that on this previous trade, I've put a yellow arrow. This previous trade, there was a stop loss of 70 pips, a TP1 of 47 and a TP2 of 72. So again, it's like a one-to-one trade. But you'll notice here that although you initially went and came close to your stop loss, so it moved up to break even, and then of course as it came back down it would have hit your take profit at around this point here on this candle, and you wouldn't have lost any money. Had you not have moved your stop loss, it would have just tapped you out before reversing, and it would have tapped you out just a couple of hours ago if you hadn't have moved your stop loss to break even when it reached TP1. So that's a good example of why I do this or why I would do this when trading this particular MT4 indicator. So if we go back a little bit further, you'll see that there was a trade here. This trade opened on the 18th of November. Again, I've put a little yellow arrow here because the indicator will disappear after a while. What I've noticed is it paints 3, 4, 5 trades, but then it starts to disappear. The last one starts to disappear and so on. In this case, there's quite a few still displaying, but when these yellow arrows and SL and TP1 and 2 disappear, because I've drawn the lines on, then we can see what would have happened and we can look back. So the reason why I didn't take this trade was because we was already, or we would have been already, in this trade here, which opened on the 18th of November. This one here opened on the 22nd. But had I been trading this indicator, I would still be in a trade and would have ignored this one, which is why I've not put a yellow arrow underneath the stop loss, and I've not drawn lines on take profit 1 and 2. The way this trade happened is it went a little bit in your favour, came back, nearly hit your stop loss, it hit your take profit 1 and carried on to your take profit 2 of 75 pips. This one here was break even, and this one here is currently running. So we go all the way back to this one here. This had a stop loss of 45 pips, a TP1 of 53 and a TP2 of 80, which it obviously hit. And again, there was a trade in the middle there, just here, which we would have ignored because we was already in this trade. So 1 trade, 2 trades, 3 trades, and a 4th one running. This is all since the 16th of November, and it's currently the 1st of December. We've had, in 2 weeks, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 trades. 2 of them have been really good winners. The 3rd one has been a break even, and the 4th one is currently running. So when it comes to the USD CAD, so far I would give this indicator a really good thumbs up. It seems to be working quite well on this particular currency pair. Like I said, I can't go back any further because there's no they've all disappeared. So these few will disappear probably in the next few days as well. But I've made the video on these trades and how I would play them. So the basic rules are that if your stop loss is quite large, this one I think we said was 45 pips, so that's not too bad. This one here, the stop loss was 53 pips, so I might have halved my lot size that I would normally use on this one. This one was definitely quite large. It was 72 pips, so I would definitely have halved my lot size on this trade. And this new one that's just opened an hour or so ago is 65 pips, so again, anything over 50 pips I would halve my lot size. It would just be a rule that I would use with this particular indicator. So this is the Thunderbolt MT4 Indicator, and it's running in easy mode or safe mode, which I think is quite good. It gives plenty of signals and yes, quite safe. Or so it seems, at least on this currency pair. So that's my that's where the USD CAD is right now. There is a trade currently open for buy, and clearly the trend is upwards. So it's a buy signal. Hasn't really moved hardly at all. And so if you'd like to follow along, you can download this indicator from my website, oldmanwisdom.co.uk. It's completely free. So feel free to follow along and maybe comment below with what you think about this particular indicator. So thank you for following along and watching this evening. Until next time, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.